welcome back. Thank you for joining me, us. I'm here with Jonathan. We're just waiting for Tim to come on, and I've had some pretty heavy losses in Chad, so let's go straight into it and check it out, and then we'll have a look at the progress from the other players. There's some very interesting progress from Mongolia, and I haven't had a look at Brazil yet, so we'll check that out. But I've lost 3 rocket launchers down here, so I'm sending another one down and building some more. I don't know what happened to them, I didn't see it at the time. And also I've lost a stack of 6 mechanised infantry. But I've pretty much taken most of their cities. If we zoom in, we can see here this is jungle territory, and I have been staying out of that because if we take a look at the mechs on their stats, they're really weak in jungles, so minus 50% attack, minus 25 defense. So I've been sticking to this open ground and the cities, but something's happened. I'm actually out of range. This is my far range. This is the limit of my strike fighters here, and so I've built an airport in Bria, and it's 35% of the way through, so only another 5%, and then I can start using it, because you can start using them when they're 40% built. Got some strikes coming in. You can see the edge of their limits there, so just around here. Not really that useful for any of the fronts that I've got on at the moment, but you can imagine what it'll be like once they're in Bria. I'll be able to reach everything, and so that'll be really important backup for me. And I've got a couple of spare strike fighters to support the stack, so they can really get stuck in. Got anti-air from Jonathan there in SAR, and I've got some really quite badly damaged troops, so let's have a look at them. We've got a main battle tank with 7.9 hit points out of 47, and the mechanised infantry isn't doing too well either, 7.2 out of 35, and then this whole stack, so you can see, I won't go through them individually, you can see they're in the red there pretty badly. They're all going off to Warsaw, and if we check out Warsaw, and look, these are all the reinforcements, by the way, loads of individual units of mechanised infantry just going to the front line, strike fighters going to attack that troop. And we'll just see the live battle there, see what's happening. So it's Chad's infantry, it's fully upgraded, motorised infantry. They've got 13 hit points left, and I mean look, I've got a very badly injured mechanised on 3.4 health out of 35, so they're about to bite the dust. But I've got 52 minutes before they do so, so I might be able to save them. I'm sending in this tank stack, but that is going to take an hour and 52. So that's kind of just going in if they die, and I'm not able to save them. But these strike fighters are going to be there in 24 minutes, so the strike fighters might just be able to save that mechanised infantry. Yeah, so the next attack's in 52 minutes. So I think if the strikes can take off 13.1, a stack of 5 strike fighters, Jonathan, can they kill a 13.1 hit point sort of basic infantry battalion?
Well, he's still got 6.19 defense and some 1.3 defense on the card against planes. I think it won't quite kill him. Ooh. How much health has your unit got? 3.4. Like, your unit may get away. If they will, they'll be with less than 1 HP. Wait until just after they've attacked and then retreat them.
Okay.
If you can. It might not let you retreat them if they're below 1 health though. So see how much damage your planes do, and then I'd retreat them if they don't kill it.
Okay. Well, that could, yeah, and I mean even if you can retreat a unit and save it even with the least bit of health, and send them to Warsaw for recuperation. And let's have a look at what's in Warsaw at the moment. So I've got they're doing really well. I've got 5 mechanised and 3 main battle tanks, and they're in the blue. Battle tanks have 90 out of 141 HP, and the mechs have 143 out of 175. So they're not going to be much longer. They'll gain 6 HP per day, because it's a level 5 hospital plus 1 from the city. 6 healing points a day, so that's a fantastic resource to pull on. And so I'll be able to reinforce my front lines with a big old stack before long. But also I've got plenty coming in, so if we have a look in detail what I've got. I've got 3 mechanised on Berberat, and I've got, well, 1 mechanised up there, but I'm bringing down 2 more to put on Berberat and join the front line. And then I've got just to hold the city just while we've got some enemy contact. And then for Bria, I've got this battle tank that's got sort of 2/3 health. I've got this infantry incoming, and then hopefully I can save the mechanized, send them to Warsaw, and have all these other guys. Look, I'm sending these guys. This mechanized is going down to Bria. So just sort of supporting the front line really, and just working it all out, and sending my strike fighters down to live in Bria before long, once the airport's built. So that's the action on my main front, and I just wanted to quickly show you my my navy. So I've got a stack here of 2 destroyers, 2 frigates. That's going to help, just hold this side against the Philippines if they do come at us, and just act as a good boost to our navy. I think we're all going to have to pool our resources when we go against the Philippines. I've got a corvette going out to another corvette here, so I'll have a stack of 2 corvettes, and the reason is I'm freeing up this stack. Yeah, I haven't quite split it off, but I've got 1 destroyer and 3 frigates, so I need another destroyer for that stack and get rid of that corvette. But corvettes are pretty good, considering. I mean, a little stack of them on their own wouldn't go amiss. There you go, you join that other corvette, and then I've got a frigate here that's joining some action. Yeah, a frigate joining that stack in the Suez Canal, and then I'm building quite a lot else. So strike fighter, destroyer, mechanized, frigate, rocket launcher, and then a strike fighter and a frigate. So I've got loads of stuff being built, and I'm starting to get good on resources. I've got 485 supplies an hour, 407 components. I'm just building them up, and I just took over an island that gives me a cog. There we go. Took this with the navy and these, and so that I've got my navy troops just taking all that stuff in Greece. So we'll get rid of them as a competitor, and we won't be at war with as many nations. And that's going to help our morale. So here we've got at war with 6 nations, minus 12 points. So if that goes down to 5, that'll just be minus 10 points, and our morale will improve, especially on cities we're overtaking. So anyway, Jonathan, what's happening with you?
Hello, there's been a few interesting things happening. The computer in Iran and Russia has been a bit troublesome. He's just sent random units into my provinces, so I've had to fly my strikes around all sorts of places just to clear those up. I lost a bunch of troops in one of these Russian provinces on the way to Yekaterinburg. So I'm sending them some planes there to scout it out whilst I send some more units. They've provided some resistance, but I am gradually moving through. The other thing that happened is I put down some counter-ops on my cities, and I discovered that the Philippines has been spying on me for like God knows how long.
Oh.
Yeah. Where's the notification?
What does that mean? I haven't come across that yet, so...
All the way back here. Oh, right. So, agent, suspected spy action, 1 agent on intelligence mission who was working for Raskiel, who is Philippines, has been captured in Warsaw, but it was after he completed his mission. So it means that he hired an agent using 10 grand and stuck it on my city, and specifically tasked it with gathering intelligence. And he could have been doing this for a long time, because I keep an eye on my resource production and the health of my buildings. So if he had been trying to corrupt me or especially sabotage me, that would have been more obvious. But he's been gathering intelligence on my main city, which will essentially tell him what units I've got there, and perhaps even more in-depth things like who I'm at war with, or exactly what my resources I have are. So I would suggest for yourself and Tim to just stick some counter-ups on all your cities, especially your capitals, just to see if we can catch any more of his officers.
Yeah, I just had a look. I have had counter-ups on, and I do have something. So in Paris, it says we caught an agent from an unknown nation after he executed his mission.
Yeah. Yeah, you can bet that's the Philippines.
I've got it in London as well, but just doesn't give me who did it.
Okay.
The thing is, like, we've got to be careful now because, like, if he's detected any of your cities on the coast and it's shown him that there's no troops there, he could already be preparing an attack. So what I've done is just moved a few more troops to my coastal cities, including one which isn't even a home city, just to give like a little bit of defense. I'm thinking like if we get some more troops later on, like I could move them to some of your coastal cities just to sit there. But yeah, he could take us by surprise with this extra bit of knowledge.
Yeah, I mean we've got a huge amount of defense from Tim, line of sight from all his aeroplanes, but there is a big old gap in between sort of Norway and Scotland. For someone to just plough through, and then that would open up all of our. Well, you're protecting my home cities pretty nicely, Tim, but yours are quite exposed, Jonathan, in Poland, which are up here.
Yeah, like he would have to go past the UK in some kind of way, and that would be pretty tricky to sneak on by. I don't really know how we do it. Like if you've got like some subs there, they're stealth, but then other submarines and destroyers can pick up on that. I don't know if the naval recon can. I don't think they can detect subs. Oh, they do actually have sonar, so they can. So that's great.
Yeah, maybe some stealth units like special forces. Can they be seen?
Well, the thing is, no. If they're in the water, they'd be seen. But if they were traveling via land, then he could technically just move through all of our provinces, and we wouldn't be able to detect him. Cool. Obviously, like we'd get a notification if he went into combat with any troops in the city. But yeah, he could just move special forces like all the way through our provinces,
and then hit some home cities.
Yeah, I haven't even considered that. So maybe it's worth having something like if I upgrade my radar as well and then stick some on our home cities, then they'd be able to detect special forces. They need to be, I think, the second highest level, and then they can actually detect stealth.
So upgrading your radar, your voice cut out. Then I think it's your internet. Yep.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
No, fine. It just when you said radar, I presume. Upgrade your blah blah blah.
So it's 2 levels ahead. It can detect and reveal stealth, and the radar range is 225 at that level. So that's pretty good. Like that would be enough. But all the special forces can do is just kill all the troops on your cities, and I don't believe they can damage the buildings on a city.
Okay, yeah, sure. Welcome, Tim. We were looking at the stealth, the radar stats, by the way, while you're talking. What's going on with you, Tim? Any action? You've gone back and you're consolidating your armies and building them up.
I think this last Norwegian city should stop there tonight, and then probably the Russian city I took will probably be tomorrow, and then I'll sort of get all my troops back to my homeland, see how many I've got, start building some more infantry. So I'm researching the mobile radar now, and I'll start pumping out a few of those. I've got my infantry officer, and then I'll have my 10th naval recon ready in 20 minutes, half an hour. So I'll have five pairs in the air, and that will like fill the gap which we were talking about before between Sweden and my coast. Just stick a couple in there, just cover that whole area.
I've just seen you've got stack after stack of ship in your homeland, but also you've got some abroad, haven't you, in the Suez Canal? So you've got an incredibly strong navy building. The cruiser's just about to join your big stack, the naval officer. That's going to be incredibly strong.
Yeah, I'm aiming to build 4 full stacks of ships with a cruiser in each one, and a couple of destroyers, a couple of frigates. Cool. So that should be ready in a few days. And then just max out the level of those pretty much.
Wow, that's going to be incredible, and it's going to be a huge help when we go to war against the Philippines. I'm building up a couple of stacks similar to that. I need to upgrade my naval yard, which I think I'm doing at the moment. Yeah, I'm building a level 3 naval yard in Bordeaux, and then I just need to upgrade them both. But I've chosen to upgrade my army base instead to level 3. But yeah, just upgrading buildings really so I can build a cruiser at some point. And but also a destroyer as well, so that's why I'm upgrading the level 2 naval base to level 3, and then I'll do the level 3 to 4.
Yeah.
But no rush really for me to get cruisers. I think I'm getting really quite good on the components. I'm over 400 now on the components and 485 on supplies. I've definitely got enough supplies. I'm trading them now freely to Jonathan. I've got plenty left over. But God, I use so many components.
Yeah. Yeah, you sort of need like 7,000-8,000. You really don't need to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
At least ships really eat them up.
Oh, I can build a local industry now on the latest component tile that I took. It's in Greece actually. It's just a little island that I'm taking with my naval troops. So I've just put a local industry level 1 on those. But all of the component tabs I've got are now up to level 3 on local industry. So I'm really maxing out my supplies. Oh, there we go. And that one's being built. But yeah, and I upgraded a load of supply tabs to local industries, but I just don't need any more supplies, so I'm not going to do any more of that. Got level 1 there. It's all about the components. Level 3 there. So I don't know if you caught that, Tim, when I was talking about my losses in Chad and just how I was like reinforcing my front. When did you join us?
Yeah, I think probably just after that.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't remember.
So both myself and Jonathan and previously you, we've been taking losses in certain places. Like you lost a stack against Russia, and Jonathan's had like Iran going in on him and Russia. So it looks like the computer's really quite active in this game, and it's causing all sorts of problems and killing loads of our units. So it's really not straightforward. It may look like we're making quite easy progress, but along the way we're losing a hell of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be quite nice if there was some sort of overview of what losses you've taken, like just numbers, because it's difficult to say really. Sometimes you lose an infantry here and there, and if you don't quite catch it in the notifications, you end up forgetting about it and thinking, what happened to them? It would be great if you could see some sort of overview of wins and losses.
Yeah, I lost a bunch of special forces in a city and just didn't even realise that it had happened for a while. But they've been dropping like flies. Yeah, useful. But it's something you could use to your advantage as well.
So you're going in on, is it Iran? Yeah, Iran, and then you're going to be bunching right up against Mongolia. And if we have a look at their progress, God, they're going right into India, aren't they? Really seriously. I think they're just in a race to take India and get back to their front line with you, really. And then it's all going to take off. That's potentially not going to be tomorrow. It could be the day after or the day after that. In terms of episodes, in 2 or 3 episodes' time, things are
I
going
reckon that's probably when I'm going to have to mobilise more of my ships to sit in that area, sort of south of Saudi. Because I reckon the Philippines would probably look to join in if you were at war with Mongolia around Iran.
It would only make sense if they went in on a coalition war against their western front, which is right up against Jonathan. So I'm going to have a think about what I'll be committing to the war as well. Would probably put my incursion into Africa a bit more on the back foot, and just do it a bit more slowly and cautiously. Try not to lose as many troops. and just carry that on, and then just put a focus into this fight of our lives against the biggest coalition in town. Just going to see if anything's changed on their coalition. No, it's still them. They haven't taken anyone else on. But you can quite blatantly see they're very active. Very active indeed.
I'd be tempted in a couple of days to... I don't know if I'd be able to get there, though. I don't know if I've got the reach. I'd want to sort of, like, start looking around Philippines coastlines just to see if I could see any, like, sub-stacks and sort of just assassinate them with my recon, but I don't know if I'd be able to get in range.
Well, you'll soon have the opportunity. I'm just having a look at Brazil, actually. They're incurring pretty seriously into the United States and Mexico. They've certainly tipped the balance, taking Mexico's capital. So we're going to have to be really careful of ours. They've got 3 cities around the capital now, and they've land grabbed like crazy on their east coast. So it looks like Brazil's going to win that fight, and then we're going to have to go up against them. But I think that we've got a bit of time yet. So I think time-wise, it's working out quite well, where we'll be majorly incurring into this coalition, and then we'll have hopefully a bit of time to crack into them before we have to worry about Brazil too much. It's not like they're both maturing at the same time, because if we were hit on both sides, that would be pretty tough. And if Brazil joined their coalition, my god, I don't know what we'd do.
That would be a little bit tough. They're all only about as strong as I am. You two are definitely way ahead.
I know that from their stats they don't quite have as many cities as us combined, but Philippines have got some pretty advanced bases, and look, Mongolia's just driving through India. They've got a whole load of land. They're about as big as Jonathan, I'd say, and me. From looking at them, I know they've got some quite, spread out territory. And then the weakest of them looks like Myanmar. I haven't really had a look at their home cities, but I'm having a look now. So they've got a really quite heavily damaged homeland city. 3 out of 20 base points on their army base, on a level 3 army base. I wonder who attacked them. Maybe it was China. Oh, and Myanmar have annexed a city, Chiang Mai. Oh, and they've annexed another one. Oh, it's the Annex Club. And another one. Oh, that's 3 annexed cities. So Myanmar's doing what the Philippines was doing, annexing loads of cities.
Just to compensate for them having fewer cities than us. So I've started focusing a little bit more on resource production, including like arms industries and local industries. Just to kind of balance that out a bit.
What do you make of the computer player being so aggressive? Does that normally happen in games?
Yeah. Occasionally.
It's like the randomness of it.
Because they can hit back in random ways, and it's all these armoured fighting vehicles that they've had on their cities. Like, I haven't had much which is particularly good against armour.
Yeah. And
we've got to be really careful in Russia. I think they've just got units absolutely everywhere.
Cool. I've got a bit of a problem going into Cameroon and Democratic Republic of Congo, so that's why I'm going to probably focus on Nigeria and Ethiopia first. And basically they're just all jungle, and mechanized and tanks are just, they're not very good at all in jungle. They've got massive penalties, so I'm going to be building up some units that are good in jungle, and it might be good to just have that as a bit of diversity in the army. And have you got any recommendations for what I go for? Do you think armoured fighting vehicles? They still have a penalty in jungle.
Oh, I'll tell you what I was looking at. Well, my special forces, they are actually particularly suited to jungle.
Oh.
And they get 50% attack bonus in jungle and 25% defense bonus, and also the same in forest and mountainous areas. Like if you
Wow.
compare that with like the motorized infantry, then it's usually like a negative 25% attack or defense bonus in all of those places. And I think especially motorized, I believe they struggle. Yeah, in jungle, you're motorized. They've got minus 50% attack and minus 25% defense. Don't know if you've already said that, but yeah, it's just.
Yeah, they've got dreadful stats. Looks like nice suggestion. Then looks like I'll be building some special forces to incur into the Congo and in Cameroon. So
Or just invest more on your rocket launchers so you don't actually have to get close to them.
yeah,
The problem with the special forces is they're not good at defending at all. Like, so I think you do lose them quite easily.
yeah, you've lost quite a few, haven't you? It's difficult to know what's for the best. I mean, because I had a stack of 3 rocket launchers and they were taken out. I believe they were taken out by 3. Well, it was probably originally more actually. There were 3 armored fighting vehicles that I saw left over, and I thought I then took them out, but I'm not sure now. So it was probably a big stack of about 4 or 5 armored fighting vehicles, and maybe even some infantry. So there's some serious stuff going on, and they just couldn't cope against that for just like 3 rocket launchers. So I think maybe if I'd had like 5 or 6, I might have taken more out, but they were still vulnerable. They still may have died.
Yeah, the armored fighting vehicle is only a minus 25% attack debuff in jungle compared to like the main battle tanks, which also have minus 50% attack and minus 25% defense.
Yeah.
What about strike fighters as well?
Yeah. Definitely, I'm the second I took over Bria in South Chad, I started building an airport, and it's actually 37% of the way through. So at the end of tonight, I'll be able to station my strike fighters there, and really go on some missions. And I've got a couple of backups, so that's really going to help. And yeah, more rocket launchers. I'm just going to start building them now because I've got three theatre defence, and there'll be one in Marrakesh, one already in Madrid, just there. One on its way from a boat, I think, through here, going into Marrakesh at some point. And there it is. So we'll get him over. And then I've got a little bit of defence in the home cities, but not a huge amount. I've got mechanised infantry in the capital, and a strike fighter, and then a strike fighter in Madrid, and a mechanised. I'll get a bit more defence in the home counties, just so I've got it. Because that would be a right bugger if I lost one of my home cities. And then just going to start pumping out the troops. Now I've got 407 components an hour coming in. I'm just going to keep building on that. Hopefully at some point soon annex Zaragoza, now that they're really starting to build up the resources, and then just snowball from there. And we're still taking an awful lot of land, and we do have that as our advantage. And you've done a huge incursion in Saudi Arabia, in Syria and all that, and in Iraq. By the time you've got loads of stuff in Iran, and I've got loads of Africa now, which is just giving us loads and loads of resources, and we can swap them about each other, so we can make the most of the resources we've got. So if anyone's got any spare components floating around, we could do a trade later.
Yeah,
I've actually used up all of mine, but.
And we can see how that goes. But yeah, this is going to get very interesting very quickly now. In a few days, maybe even just 2 or 3, Mongolia's going to have no more land to grab unless they go into China. They might want Myanmar to just go for that a bit more. Who knows?
Yeah, Myanmar hasn't got a lot of land at all, so like you'd think they would be going to China right now.
Yeah, Mongolia hasn't budged at all on the land right around them. It looks like they almost avoided China and just went for these other western provinces.
It's tough going against China as just Mongolia because they're just so much more powerful than you.
Yeah. Okay, well we've done a good update for now. Any last thoughts on what's going on?
Yeah. I've given myself an idea. I think I'm going to send my special forces on a special mission through Russia. I might make a few more first, and I'll see if I can do some undercover Black Ops style missions with them.
Sounds
Do they
good.
have a debuff in like the sort of snowy terrains, or
Let's have a look.
are they like sort of built for it?
Well, they've got actually no debuffs at all, but they've got buffs in like where other units struggle, which is the jungle, the forest, and the mountains. And actually, like most units do struggle in the tundra, don't they? Actually, apart from mechanized, which actually I think they get a buff in the tundra. Yeah, a 25% buff. But like most units do well on open ground, special forces don't. So they're built for all the areas where you usually wouldn't want to go. But most importantly, they're stealth. So I could, if I play my cards right, I could take them anywhere, and they won't really get noticed unless you've got like a high level AWACS or radar, or like frigate or something like that. So we shall see.
Yeah, and I'm tempted to build some special forces, or well, to research them first, just to add one or two to a stack. 'Cause they do seem to add that little bit of.
Yeah, like if you were to just send in some infantry and have a mix of all a few different kinds, then it would probably balance out a little bit. Or you could send like a few ahead into the jungle before catching up with your other units.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So my strikes have been. Okay, I've saved. They've been saved, so that's fantastic. My strike fighters have taken out that infantry, so I'm just going to move them into Bria, just as some last ditch of defence in case the forces of Chad decide to go after them until the backup arrives, and then they're going to Warsaw. 3.4 out of 35 hit points left. They survived very well, and it's survival like that really makes the difference. I don't know if you heard earlier, Tim, but I've got a bit of a survival force building in Warsaw who were pretty much all nearly dead and only had a few hit points left, and they're now turning into fairly strong units, and there's 3 main battle tanks there and 5 mechanized infantry, so that's a pretty nice story, and a very useful hospital there, Jonathan, level 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any last thoughts, boys?
No.
Okay, great. Well, it's been a really interesting episode. Just really setting the scene for the greater battles to come. So it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from them.
Yeah.
Over and out.